money like cashier. Get the money like a cashier. Customer, clientele. I was broke, that was last year. Getting money like cashier. Get the money like a cashier. Benjamin, nothing less. I was broke, that was last year.
I was getting all types of feedback, so I don't even know if it played right. So anyway, we live. Welcome to Dope.
What's up? What's up?
Live. My name is Marcus. What's going on?
I'm Kevin.
I'm Stefania.
And I'm Larry. How's it going?
There we go.
There he is, Paperboy. He's just gonna pop in, not say anything.
Good evening.
Fresh shaven.
I told you every once in a while I have to look like a lawyer.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
I'll dress
Johnny?
this too. Shoot. Oh man, and Mr. Thompson's on today.
I'm in the house, boss. I am in the house.
That's what's up.
No, literally, I'm in the house. But...
we are live across
I'm at home
platforms today. We're live on Twitch. We're live on YouTube, and of course, we're live on Facebook. So as you see, I got a hoodie on.
Okay.
My feet are kicked up.
Okay.
So
that's
what it is today. What it was today. Shoot. So anyway, what's on y'all's mind? I don't know what that was.
So that brings up DMX. So DMX passed, man. R.I.P. man. Good Lord. The ripe old age of 50.
Yeah,
I didn't know he was.
We lost him, and we lost
Black Rob.
Shock G.
Shock G.
All of them.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's kind of crazy. Sad.
When it rains, it pours.
Yeah.
Wait, who else I'm sorry, who else?
Black Rob.
Who?
Sorry.
Did we lose Black Rob? Let me double check.
Oh yes, Black Rob. We did. We lost Black Rob. I forgot about that. Black Rob had high blood pressure, and I think he have a stroke or something. All I know is that high blood pressure in the African American community is a real thing.
Yes,
it's a real thing.
Yeah.
So
it's tough. It's tough on all your organs. Say what's the plan?
We need to take care of ourselves.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, we do.
Well, and we need to eat a little less if you go towards the south. You know what I mean? More of like an engineered type position, right? Like that's how we do it. You eat. Now you look at me. You probably ain't gonna think of it now, but you know what I mean. That is how it turns, though. It's like all about eating, man. That's what we do.
Well, you're right. Well, I was gonna invite y'all over for some ribs, but
we're there.
Okay.
We're there.
Skirt.
But Kevin's out of town, and
and I don't mean you can't invite the rest of the crew. Now I just want to throw it out there.
Sheesh. So I don't know. So what's up?
I don't know.
You got this serious look on your face, man.
Ooh.
You.
Me? No. I had a rough day at the salt mines. That's all.
Uh-oh.
Rough day at the salt mines.
Hey, I know. I get it.
I had a question. Hold on. Well, other than, the resignation of one of the Aurora City Council members, not why, I'm not, logistically, I want to know, and I think we were kind of talking about this earlier, logistically, all right, what happens next? Right? I think we were talking about Marcus, they were talking about a special election. Like logistically, what's the next move for the city of Aurora?
They'll appoint. The city council gets to appoint their own. So no election. They'll appoint a person to finish out her term. So whenever they make that plan, they'll take applications for that position, and then they'll evaluate the applications, probably do some interviews, and then they'll pick who they want. And then that person will serve from, let's say, July to August, September, October, and November through swearing in, which I assume will be, usually pretty quickly. He's probably in December. So yeah, so he'll serve probably about 4 months.
So we have had how many individuals who we think that were running for Aurora City Council already on the program? Wouldn't it be interesting if they would that be a leg up for an individual? Be like, hey, we're going to go ahead and give you 3 months to figure out how you get your feet wet before you decide to run again.
If they live in Ward 2, they got to live in Ward 2 though.
Okay.
But if they live
right.
2, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, if they live in that ward, I think that's definitely a leg up to be. I sat in this seat for a few months and I was in work sessions and helped make decisions for this ward. That's going to be beneficial in their campaign. They're going to have some sort of experience instead of just saying, well, for the first 6 months I was drinking through a fire hose, like everyone says when they first sit in their seat.
Yeah.
But we haven't had anybody on here from Ward 2.
Besides
No.
Besides Councilwoman Johnston, no.
Okay.
So let me ask this question. So her position was at large, am I correct?
No.
It wasn't
No.
at large? Okay.
Yeah.
No, she was Ward 2. So we would need to get Idris. He's the candidate that's planning on running for Ward 2 for November.
Yes.
We need to get him on and have a conversation.
But here's my question. So if a person comes in and serves the remainder of another term, does that count against them as a full term? And I don't know the answer to that question, so I'm truly asking that. Does that count as a full term?
That's a good question.
No, I don't think so. I think it's more, you know what I mean, when it goes towards like the interim style, like if you were like a professional basketball coach, how they, relegate that time frame, not necessarily adding it as this is on your contract extension type deal, right? That you're limited by. So
Right.
I really think it's like you just get that little peak period because it's not a full term that was given.
Yep, and there's the answer right there.
Brian,
And Brian knows it.
They have to serve half or more. So thank you for that. Because I had no idea. I wondered, in that aspect. So that's good then. So that is a good position for somebody to pop in,
Yes.
and to give them a leg up in this ward. So that's interesting. We'll see what happens when that process begins. But they got time to gear up. I'm sure there's an application process, and from there, they make a decision. So with Nicole being off,
I was thinking that too.
what is the makeup?
Ooh, that right there, man.
Just throwing
You
that
guys
out.
are closer than I am. I mean, you guys are closer than I am. Yeah. What is the makeup?
That changes some things.
Yes. Was it 1,
That's-
2, 3?
That's 4-4, right?
I'm just wondering what are we counting? That's my question.
This man.
It's nonpartisan,
bear.
by the way.
He's
This is
poking the bear right.
nonpartisan.
I think let me be the devil's advocate right here. I think we're counting those who are on our team and who's not.
We're all on the same team.
We're on the same team, right?
It sounds good. It sounds real good.
Oh man. So I don't know. It's just interesting, but let me just say this: I am happy for Nicole that she's getting to a place where she's starting a new gig, and then she'll be close with the kid's father, which I think is important. As a father, that would be tough for me. So I think that's phenomenal in that aspect. So
Absolutely, and that's something that a lot of people say that Democrats don't put first is family values, and you see an example of it right here, is prioritizing family over state politics or just certain role, playing a certain role in the community, because she can do so much outside of that office. She could even eclipse her effect of what she was doing in office from outside of office, but she could never be a mom. Not saying she couldn't be a mom while she's in office, but she could never be the best mom she can be if she's allowing disadvantages to stop her. So if she's assessed her situation, that's what she needs to do, then I'm all for it. And there you go, Republicans. You say we don't put family first. There's an example of it.
Interesting.
I feel about that.
Something to talk about since you threw the Republican up there. Did we all see that tweet?
Which one?
Which one?
Scott's tweet.
Who's
There's
from
no
who?
racism in America.
Oh,
Yeah, right. Is there
talking about Tim
racism in
Allen.
America?
Ooh.
Kamala
Tim
answered.
Allen, Tim Allen.
No,
Tim
Tim
Allen.
Scott.
Governor, South Carolina.
Tim Scott.
Tim Scott. Okay, I was like, I think is that the South Carolina Republican senator.
There's no racism in America. Kamala kind of echoed his sentiments. She didn't quite go there that far, but she said that she doesn't believe that America is racist, but we have a problem.
She sound like, you know, what Obama was doing before he got crucified this past year. Catering to his base. You know, that's why he started coming out about black people. Obama wasn't going to come out about black people until everybody started crucifying. Hey, man, you going to start talking about us now? You see that we, you know, showing up. You see everybody have our interests. This is your time to really be the leader, to put our agenda forward, right? In this moment, if you're going to be that person that you're supposed to be 8 years. But that's a different story.
Wow.
That's, you know, you got to put that legislation behind it too, you know, and come out with that full-throated support for it.
I mean, with Obama's word, you know, his political equity and political capital, he could just look at a policy. He don't even have to say that he read it. They could just see a paper in his hand and now they're trying to run with it. You know what I mean?
Wow.
Absolutely.
What is that noise? Y'all hear that?
I did. It stopped.
Yeah, that's me.
What are you on a merry-go-round?
Yeah, right.
That's what I was thinking. It had that sound.
Give me some cotton candy on your way back, man.
Like we was at the carnival. That's right.
They have some fried mayonnaise balls or something like that. Fried butter sticks.
Oh my
County fair.
So here, I'm about to put up a comment. So check this comment out.
Okay.
Oh shoot!
Ooh, hey,
First of
listen.
all, wait a minute. Hold on. For y'all, I'd like to send a shout out to the University of New Mexico women Lobos soccer team making it to the next round of the NCAA tournament. That being said, Croy has no clue of what he is talking about. They are not on the same level, and not only not on the same level, they don't swim in the same pond. Tim Scott is a black Republican that got elected in South Carolina. All right? So write that down and think about it. They not swim in the same pond.
Wow.
That was-
I'm curious. I would love some background on his thought process on that. Mr. Thompson, please share. What is the background on that? I am curious.
On the situation with Tim Scott and Obama?
Yes.
Well, I mean, personally, to me, in that situation, I mean, I think they're saying it in the sense of their demeanor towards what they need to do for black people in a sense of outwardly, but in the sense of policy, whoo, that's a tough one, big dog. That, you know, that's a tough one. But the way they act, though, you know, actually, that I don't know, man. To be honest, that's a tough comparison there. Tim Scott.
One of them is eligible to be a member of the Congressional Black Caucus and is not.
There you go.
I mean, but what is the Congressional Black Caucus, though?
Hey, even if it's in name only,
like that, though.
Even if it's in name only.
Okay, I like that. That's true, though.
You can put your name on it, and
Yeah.
he did not specifically.
He doesn't see himself as
Oh, that's true. He's American, he said.
yeah.
He's swimming in a different pond.
That is,
And-
I like the way you put that.
surviving. So we'll see what happens.
So
Hands Obama done for black folks. Ooh, hey, listen.
here's the next part of that.
Is that not symbolism? Ooh.
Y'all ain't gonna get me riled up today. So y'all go ahead. Y'all ain't gonna get me riled up today.
Okay.
Hey, it's getting spicy. Hey, listen, I'm gonna tell you, I'm an unfiltered person. If y'all let me go now, I'm gonna tell you that now. But hey, boss, you know that's something. I'm not gonna lie and sit here and say that I've just examined every single policy Obama has displayed, but it has been quite a bit of different legislation that's low key. That you gotta understand when it comes to policy and legislation, even small things can be a major ripple in the pond that you don't know about, right? You know what I mean? So Outwardly, like I said, I'm not gonna dance, at that party because I don't want to lie here. But for the most part, man, Obama.
Thank you. Bam. You know that thing that we are now guaranteed and Republicans hate on a level that is impressive, that they keep trying to take away from you the right to health care. They are trying their best. If it didn't have an impact, then why are they consistently trying to take it away from you? Huh? Right. If it didn't mean anything, then why can't I have it?
Yeah.
Every Republican keeps running. We're gonna get you. We're gonna take care of Obamacare.
We're gonna uproot it.
Here's the problem. They don't realize it helps everybody. You might be mad at it because his name is Obama, but it helps everybody. And there's a lot more poor white people than there are poor black people.
And those poor white people are still crying, we don't want socialism, and they're Trump fans. Socialism is helping you get your medication, is helping you see your doctor. That's socialism. They fail to realize that.
Or the police. How about we go even deeper? The police.
Yep.
The military industrial complex. Like, it's just the whole shebang. The transportation, right? Public transportation. Like, what are we talking about, right? Public highways. What do we, all this is all encapsulated under socialism.
Yeah, they make that a dirty word, and it kind of it irritates me to no end.
We had this conversation a while back. The argument at this point, I believe every adult who wants the vaccine has at least gotten the first shot, right? Mm-hmm. Socialism. Hey, free. If you want it, socialism.
There was a report today that said that there's such a vast difference in who's getting the vaccine and who's not. And the one group that is not getting the vaccine are white evangelical males not getting the vaccine.
God bless everybody. All God's creatures, great and small. So, you wear the mask for other people. The vaccine is for you.
Yeah, that's right.
We will make anybody take it, but I know I took the vaccine for myself. Mm-hmm. I put that mask on because I am part of a society, and that mask was a part about people. The unintended consequence of people who didn't know they were could transmit the coronavirus. And they didn't have any symptoms. And so that was the reason we were wearing that mask, to keep us from transmitting the coronavirus when we didn't know we had it. So that was us doing our part for society. Mm-hmm. The vaccine's for me. You don't want to take it, knock yourself out.
Okay, that's a good point. Let me ask you this. What do you feel, how do you feel about them requiring people to show documentation that they've taken it to get into concerts, to travel, to do anything in public? That's a slippery slope for me, because we came up with HIPAA because of AIDS, when people were trying to deny jobs to people who had HIV and AIDS. And so now we're asking people to share their medical records based on a vaccine. So I'm just it's a slippery slope.
You got to differentiate, and I'll let you go, Marcus. I'm gonna get out of here.
No, you're not.
Differentiate between rights. You have rights, right? And no one is taking away any of your rights. But if you want to go to I'm a business owner. I don't want you coming in here and with you not vaccinated. I'm trying to put on a show at the Pepsi Center. All right, you don't have a right to go to the Pepsi Center.
Private.
Can I ask this question?
That's true.
Let's ask this question though.
You don't have the right to ask that person about their medical history. If they come in with a mask,
not medical history. Not medical history.
Go ahead.
That's true. Vaccinations are public. But if they come in with a mask on, do you have the right to ask them, can I see whether your paperwork, whether you've been vaccinated?
All right. I think as a business owner, you have the right to ask people for anything before they come into your establishment. But check me out. Hold on a second, guys. Let me get in here. Let me do some talking. So when we talk about the vaccine, I believe that this is a little bit different than all the other stuff from before. And we are not doing this complaining about our standard vaccinations required for kids going to school, right? And on top of that, the school isn't even someone's private business. That's actually run by the government. If I run a personal schoolhouse, and not only do I want to have you to have your shots, I want to see proof that you have those shots. Don't tell me you have your rights. Okay, you have the right to move on to the next establishment as well. I reserve the right to refuse services to anyone coming in here that doesn't want to prove to me. And I think that you don't need the government necessarily to get involved in it. But so that means I don't have a problem with people asking for it. Or if someone does say they want to get involved in it, if there is a government, they can choose to do that if their elected officials, went through that process and whatnot. But I don't have a problem with it. I think we should everything to be safe. We're talking about over 500,000 dead Americans.
All right. So let me just say this, and then I'm gonna let y'all go back. How could we get away from this subject and not complete it? The subject of what did Obama do for black?
I was going back to that.
See,
what I was
and here's the thing:
because we hit Obamacare.
We did.
And we don't
let me
give him
say something about Obamacare too, though.
But all right, so I'm gonna let you go, Larry. But let me just say this: I have a list of accomplishments that were. But here's the thing: yeah, there's this concept of the black agenda. But remember, everything that you do as a president really has to be generally for the greater good of all Americans.
Does it?
They're supposed to be. However, I got a long list of what he's done for African Americans. But here's the thing. I post that up. The response is going to be, well, that's for everyone. So, but I'm not going to go through that list because I'm with you. I'm with you, Carter. I don't want to get too riled up today because I can address that. But I want to let you all go ahead and step into that real quickly because let me see. You saw this comment here. No reparations, nothing but about. Well, see, that's the thing. We'll never get reparations. I don't care who's the president. It'll never happen. In terms of discrimination with housing, I have an issue with that. He did do something with respect to housing, but most folks, once again, they don't want to hear that in terms of what things he did to affect and change the issues of housing. But I'm not going to go there. Now,
hey, we're talking about Obama. Talk about Tim Scott. What Tim Scott do for us? What did Tim Scott not do? What did Tim Scott do that actually wasn't detrimental to the black community?
Right. Tim Scott's not the president. I agree.
If you were from South Carolina,
I know, but tell me he hasn't voted lockstep with the Republican Party on virtually everything, which has been detrimental directly to the black community.
Is there anybody here from South Carolina?
No.
All right. Tim Scott is the senator from South Carolina. If you want to get mad about, you can't get mad at your representative or somebody else's representative. I know we're mad. Who's the lady from Georgia? The crazy one.
Marjorie Greene.
Marjorie Greene.
Oh yeah, Green. Yes, Green.
That's their house.
Right.
That's mad at them, but they keep voting them. Even Boebert. We got our own problems.
I'm not talking about the electors. I'm talking about his voting record. Record.
Who does he serve? The state of South Carolina.
No, so wait. So does it not matter who the elected official is anymore?
Who does he serve?
So why vote? Why vote? Why not just send everything? Why do we have senators?
Your question.
We didn't vote for him.
Thank you.
We didn't vote for him. He's not our elected official.
No. When I'm talking, he's shifting the blame from Tim Scott to the people of Georgia, and I'm keeping it with Tim Scott because he's the elected official.
I'm saying that the people of South Carolina voted.
I'm sorry, South Carolina. My bad.
The people of South Carolina voted for who they wanted. We can look down at them. We can be like, "What is your problem?" But that is their house, and that's part of democracy. You get to vote for who you want, even if they're idiots. Like I said, we've got our own problem just to the west of us.
Is that what you're saying about the people of South Carolina?
I'm saying Tim Scott. I'm saying, you know what? I'm saying that's a bad dude. Y'all don't want to give him props, but everything I said in the beginning, he's a black man in South Carolina and a Republican and is a senator. If you don't want to give him props on that, I don't know what to tell you.
Props.
Okay, so how do we criticize Obama then?
Right. We give him props.
We voted. We had a right to vote for Obama, so we have a right to criticize him.
Right. I mean, both ways. I want to say one thing too about Obamacare. Obamacare knocked off more black people on healthcare than any other moment in history and time when there was a transition of new healthcare policies. So if we want to speak a little bit more specificity about Obamacare, that we would say. But for me, I think people when they get mad at Obama is because First off, he showed he was black at the end, dropping the mic drop, blah 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 type deal. You know, you know what I mean. We have to be held accountable, you know, in Congress. But people don't understand that process, right? Like for the most part, like, look, you want to get something done. You think you want to be Mr. Pro-Black 100%, but you still got so much stuff you have to work with, right? And then we only 13% of the population, but it's about being able to manage them interest groups, man. It's a game, unfortunately. But I did want to speak on something that we missed on earlier that we were talking about the vaccinations, right? It's not even USDA approved. You know that, right? Like everybody getting mandated to have these things. It has literally not even passed through USDA approved. They did an emergency pass through. So we pretty much taking something that ain't really even been clinically approved yet. It's just the fact that it's emergency. Now, I ain't telling anybody not to take it, right? Because based on the results, the 90%, I'm not here to knock anybody in their statistical comparisons that allow them to do the things, right? I'm supporting everybody, right? I'm supporting, to be honest with you, you know, but we do have to look at those type of things. And another thing we need to think about is when Mitch McConnell was pushing in the Senate, that liability, right? That limited liability. I don't know if everybody knew about that, but that was his biggest thing in the Senate when he was pushing so we couldn't get the stimulus checks the last time, right? So what he was trying to do with that situation is because he knew it wasn't going to be USDA approved by that vaccination, he was trying to, since he is Republican, so it's more about business, he was trying to create a platform so they couldn't get sued if you had the vaccine or you didn't have the vaccine in those scenarios. So if that being the case, right, we have him going with there. Then we have the people out there saying that if you have the right or not to be able to go, you know, in their establishment with this vaccination, right, or not, that's kind of infringing on the rights, right? Or is that not infringing on a man's right if we put all that together in an establishment of what they were trying to conclude?
Let me see.
I think it could be possibly infringing upon rights, but I mean, you know, you could say that you're infringing upon business owners' rights.
But it's not USDA approved, though.
I hear that, but that's one institution, and they did. You said there was a fast track approval process. That fast track approval process was overseen by some officials that were in their official capacity. They were authorized to do that sort of thing, and it wasn't a back alley, fast track approval. These are large institutions that have been trusted by our medical institutions for a long time.
Don't get me started on big pharmacy and trust.
Wait a minute. Say
I couldn't hear you, Larry.
Oh, I was saying there's a difference between approval and clearance.
That's true.
You know,
that's true. I mean, you know, emergency situations. You know, 500,000 people falling off the face of the earth. I think there's some grace to be given with developing a vaccine to try to save us from a massive pandemic.
You know, it's the same.
But at the same time, you got to trust some people. Say what?
They're the same ones giving us the opioid crisis.
Is it the same ones giving us the opioid crisis?
You're saying that. That's why there's a lack of trust in some areas from the people to big pharmacy to government.
Was it Moderna? Was Moderna?
Did Moderna make
Moderna's one of them?
Yes. Did Moderna?
I took the Moderna one. That's why I'm asking. Like, hold on, but is Moderna one of them?
Hey, look.
But I want to know.
But 90% of people good though, so that right there give you good. You know what I mean? Like it's like, hey, look, I want to go out there and catch COVID because I had it once. I'm gonna tell you, hey, it ain't what you want, boss. You know what I mean? I wasn't asymptomatic. I'm gonna tell you that now. And so, hey, that's why I say I applaud anybody who get that jump because you don't want it. But I'm just being the devil's advocate. That's all I'm doing.
Interesting.
We got two of those on the screen already. Why we need you to do it?
Who are you talking about? Who's he talking about?
Marcus and Michael are good devil's advocates. They ask good questions and they go against the grain in a good way plenty of times. Now we got three of them.
Yeah.
So Mr. Thompson's talking about, and not Larry, but
I was like, well,
talking about the AAPI community getting special legislation. There's a difference, though. The Black plight we've been dealing with this for far longer. Let's say, at least in this aspect of slavery.
Before America was America.
Mm-hmm. All right, here's the thing. You always had the opportunity to vote for the other guy.
Mm-hmm. on. Let's go back to the other guy. Y'all are getting off of Tim Scott. We went in on Obama, and y'all gave Tim Scott a pass.
Who did? I got on Tim Scott big time, boss.
No, not you, Larry. I'm really talking to Paperboy. So Paperboy.
I don't understand. Look. One, like I said, that's why it's called democracy. You get to vote. And they were like, yeah, blah, 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 and blah, blah, blah. So we're going to vote for the other guy. Then we saw what happened 4 years ago. Y'all don't remember. I don't know why, but all heck broke loose. So now we have this guy, and he has different priorities. But where our priorities line up, I'm fine with it. And I understand I understand how, as a black man, like, you're watching what happens with Asian Americans and the speed with which it looked like the ship got turned around and how we're still waiting. But realistically, I mean, you look at my deal is judges. My deal is judges and appointing the judges.
Yes.
Federal judges.
Yes.
And you got to look at the type of judges that other guy put on the bench.
Yeah, oh. Whoa. Whoa.
The type of judges that other guy put on the bench and the type of judges we need now. Period. Because what happens with judges is access. When you have conservative judges, they limit access. And when
Speaking of judges, Tim Scott voted to approve Amy Coney Barrett to the Supreme Court.
What would you like me?
Well, we have no control over having him in office. So
I know, no, but when we're talking about when we're talking about the original question was Obama versus Tim Scott, who's done better for the black community. We're counting positives, but I want to count.
They're apples and oranges.
I know, but for the sake of the conversation, you can try to answer the question though.
No,
right?
what I said is that you guys don't want to give him credit for winning as a black man in South Carolina. And
Credit is Republican.
You don't want to hear that.
I'm from Mississippi, boss.
Black Republican in South Carolina. Do you think that's easy?
Black Republican? Yes.
Actually, yes. Okay, so you want to give Ken?
I'm not
Go ahead.
Let's go.
I was going to say, do you want to give Candace Owens an award for winning as a black pundit, becoming a black pundit for Republican talking points? You want to give?
Let's go through the list of black senators. Period. And then let's go through the list of black Republican senators. Wow, one guy did it, and nobody wants to give him credit. You know, look, I don't care about his politics. Well, I don't want to say I don't care about his politics.
Give the devil credit for being able to manipulate people. Like, what does that mean? Like,
tokenism.
Because you win something.
That's what I was going to get to. I'm thinking of Uncle Ruckus.
Where's the tokens from Texas? Where's the tokens from Mississippi? Where's the
They don't run.
They don't run. What are you talking
They
about?
don't run.
they're not running as Republicans.
They're not running.
They needed that token. They needed that token.
As a senator Republican in the black belt, you think, come on, boss, in the black belt? Hey,
you're making my case for me, big dog. You're making my case for me. You're telling me it's hard to be a black Republican and won. So are you telling me it's easy to be a black Republican?
It's hard to be a black anything. First off, let me say this. First off, it's hard to be a black. You be a Democrat or a Republican, but it's easy for you to get in there as a Republican because the Southern states are
because of all the
plus 5 plus 6 above in the Cook scale, boss. Like,
Mr. Thompson, all the black Republicans in Congress is what you're telling me. It is so easy. There are numbers of them.
I ain't say it was easy now.
You just said it was easy being a black Republican.
I said it's easier being a black.
Easy and simple are two different things. So just because it requires a lot of effort, it's the simplicity of it. The simplicity is not there. It's not simple. You have to run a successful election. But the easy part is be willing to sell your own people down the river. You don't have to think too hard. If you're willing to go against every policy point that helps your people, and I'm going to go case in point right here. On February 25th, and he voted yes for 2 bills that actually remove women's right to choose. He's doing that. That disproportionately affects the black community. His voting record goes against us.
and he's a token. He's there to take McCain's place. I mean, hello. He can
And so it's easy. I don't have to think about it. If it helps black people, if I vote no, I can be a Republican. If I go out on the campaign trail and say I will vote no on all these things that help black people, I don't say it's against black people. It's just the policies that help black people. I'm going to get a whole lot of support. And they're going to be, you know what, Kevin, you're one of the good ones. I like you. There's something about that Kevin guy.
Here's the problem with your argument. You have nothing but conjecture.
No,
Name me all the black.
I just called the voting record. I'm looking at it.
Name me all the black Republicans that have done it because it's so easy.
First off, time out. Let me throw this. Let's do some numerical statistics to say something about that. The Cook scale, which shows you the leaning side of a Republican or a Democrat when it comes to southern states, is where are most southern states? First off, let's go even deeper. Are they mostly rural? So mostly rural is going to be what? A Republican. Now let's take it on to a larger grand scale. Most of these states in the South are rural, so the majority of them is a Republican state. First off, right? So if you're a Democratic black person, how are you going to win? First off. All right, you're not going to win as a Democrat. First off, you're going to lose. So what side are you going to choose?
I think your argument should start with, as a black person, you're going to lose. And once you start there, once you already.
No, I said as a majority as a Democrat in the South. I don't care if you're black or white.
White Democrats can't win that easily in the South.
In the South, like as a majority, boss, it don't happen that way. It's just not that easy. Look at the representatives. Look at the senators from Mississippi. Look at the senators from Alabama.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. They're all.
I mean, we got to give him a pass for being black and being a Republican. And
No. I did not say give him a pass.
And he did
I'm not sure what you are saying.
I said specifically, you guys don't want to give him credit because that was hard.
The credit is the certificate you get for winning your election. That's the credit he gets.
Yeah, dude, he won.
That's all he deserves.
Election in a state as a black Republican.
Here's my problem with Tim Scott. Here's my problem with Tim Scott. His plan for helping the black community is getting involved remotely with the most watered down milquetoast version of criminal justice reform. That's what his agenda for the black community is, or doing some sort of redistricting, rezoning, opportunity zones and whatnot that actually don't target the black community.
Why don't they just get a white guy to do it?
Because they
have a lot of black people. They check the box.
No, they don't.
They check the box.
They gotta have something to get the black vote. They are
check the box.
But South Carolina is 30% black.
Who's the senior senator from South Carolina?
Who you think? Lindsey Graham.
How many black people do you think voted for Lindsey Graham?
Probably. I don't know. I ain't even
That's a really good question, Mike.
Obviously, he didn't need the black vote to win. Why did Tim Scott need the black vote to win? Period.
Who did say that no black vote? Are you trying to say that no black people voted for Lindsey Graham?
Oh boy, I'm telling you.
No, I don't think he's saying that. I think he's saying he wouldn't have lost with 0 black votes. And I think that's true. I don't think Tim Scott would have lost with 0 black votes either. I don't think the black community came out in droves for Tim Scott.
Why do y'all think that's easy? I don't understand. Why do you think it's easy to be a black Republican in South Carolina?
Easier. There you go.
I ain't say easier to be a Republican in the South.
Easier than being a black Democrat in South Carolina. And
name me a black Democrat that have other than Pastor Warnoff. Like name in the South.
Right. It's hard.
That's what I'm saying. So first off, and Tim Scott beat the black one that was a Democrat.
It's hard.
But I'm telling you, it's easier as a Republican than it is a Democrat.
I'm sorry.
Because it's a little bit of a pass.
No, it's been proved because Tim Scott was the first one in the South as a black senator compared to anybody else. So that's proven. It was.
You guys keep saying it's so easy, but there's only one.
Huh?
You're saying it's so easy, but there's only one.
No, not so easy.
Nobody said it's easy.
Not so easy.
Like, why you keep saying?
So what's the word? Give me the adjective you want me to use.
I said easier. That's pretty much. I mean, I don't know what else to use.
I don't give him any credit at all. I mean, that's like me. That's like giving a dad credit for watching his own kids while the mom goes grocery shopping.
I don't think you guys can be. I don't believe you guys can be objective about it right now.
I can. I'm
objective. We don't agree with you. We're not objective.
I don't believe you guys can be objective about it.
I cracked on Obama. What you talking about, boss?
So wait a minute. So do you think that
you become first of all, you've done this? Is it easy to be a senator? Is it easy to be a senator?
No.
But that was never the question. Ask Corey Thompson if that was the question. Corey Thompson's question was, who did better for the Black community. So who supported more things that were beneficial to the Black community? I don't think that Tim Scott supported more than one or two things in his entire tenure that were beneficial to the Black community versus Obama.
My answer was apples and oranges. Tim Scott is beholden to
mindset. He has one mind. There is one Black community in America. He is one person. It's not apples and oranges. How supportive is he of the Black community? If you were to rate on a scale of 1 to 10, Obama being a 7 or so, to me, where would Tim Scott rate to you on a scale of 1 to 10? How supportive is he in here?
And I agree with Mike on this one. because Tim Scott does not have the ability to make policy across the board for the entire United States. Whereas
why are there senators?
He's one senator in a pond. He's one.
But senators have agendas. Senators have agendas. They support policies, and they write bills. They write bills, and they get them passed into laws.
Correct.
They do things, and they don't get those bills written by all of the constituency of their entire state.
Oh man.
What does he say?
They don't send in a ballot with a bill on it. All right, now Tim Scott, you have to get this passed.
As much.
Hey, Brother Thompson, get your cousin over here.
He's in my cousin.
Get your cousin writing in crazy questions. All right, you can't be bringing over Ringer.
I didn't know.
This was the long game. Corey was playing the long game. He was playing this game before Larry even came on the show.
Hey, I see you, Larry. I see you, boss. All right, I gotta get me some.
I'm gonna say this though about before Tim Scott said what he said. I'm gonna be real though. This is me.
What did he say?
Right before Tim Scott,
we should know that.
You said what?
He goes, what did he say?
Oh, what about the when he said America wasn't racist, right? Like before then, I was quite objective about Tim Scott being a Black Republican in South Carolina, right? Like I was like, what? Man, like everybody don't have to have the same type of thought process to be able to be effective for us, right? So I was saying that, right? I was like, maybe he could, you know what I mean, do his thing from the other side the way he do his thing. But like when he come out and speak about Black issues the way he talk about it, you be like, bro, have you ever been Black? Like, have you ever been Black? Like, that's the difference between somebody who was Black who kind of just trying to code it up a little bit, and you know what I mean. So you can just
make capital B versus lowercase b.
Yeah, you know what I mean. Like, hey, look, it was bad people on both sides. You know what I mean? Like a Trump, right? But like with him, he just literally takes a side, and that's what really gives me the issue with Tim Scott. I was like, bro, look, I get it.
Back to judges and what we need to be doing with these judges, and what type of person we're looking for in a judge, Marcus.
Empathy, experience,
I'm running.
transparency.
I'm messing with you, dude. I'm just messing with you.
So let me just say this: there have been a total of 11 Black senators, right?
Before or after Reconstruction?
All right, that's a great question.
That's a good question.
1827, Black senator from Mississippi.
Yes, sir.
Second Black senator from Mississippi.
What was he?
The first Northern Black senator, Massachusetts.
Affiliations, please.
Those first three are all Republicans.
Then you can't. Well, okay.
I didn't say it.
We are not. No. We're not going to.
Look, I know you about to say Reconstruction.
We're not going to insult our viewers by explaining there's a big difference between Reconstruction.
All right, look, I know. Yeah, let
me say this.
But it was barely different.
The majority of the Black senators have come from what state? Illinois.
Oh, Chicago. Carol Moseley. No.
Yep. Carol Moseley.
Yeah, okay.
Barack Obama.
And Roland Burroughs.
Hey, and the one, that's the guy who he bought the seat.
Right. Rahm Emanuel.
Oh.
Yeah.
I think that guy was a senator. He was senator for about 6 months, something small.
It was a very small period. Yeah, let's just say it was a small period.
Hey man, I gotta sell this thing. You gotta get rid of it.
Yeah.
Rahm Emanuel was like, it wasn't Rahm Emanuel, it was
Blagojevich?
Oh yeah, Blagojevich.
Yeah.
Blagojevich.
That name.
You like that Senate seat over there?
I got this first Senate seat for you,
Yeah,
y'all.
So Burris was a senator.
He said this seat is
senator for
golden.
2 years. 2 years. But here's the thing. And then you got, so there are currently 2 Southern senators who are black.
Right. Warnock and Scott.
And Scott.
Black in the South. So quite frankly, most of your black senators have come from the South, minus Illinois and Massachusetts.
But
Which
construction,
but
you gotta put that line on there. Like the last when was Mosey Braun? 70s?
No.
when what?
She was 93 to 95, 95 to 97, 97
So between
95.
1990 and 1920, what does the number look like?
1990
Yeah.
and 1920.
1920?
Yeah.
Why 1920?
Well, you go all the way back because I think around about 1889 they kind of cut that out. So I don't believe there's been any. Am I right or am I wrong? At a certain point, they stopped letting black people be senators.
Oh yeah, you talking
not by law, but by, hey man, you don't want to run. I suggest you not run for Senate anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's interesting because the first 2 black senators, both Republican, both from Mississippi, both were able to retire. Both retired. They were they never lost re-election. And then you had the black Republican Edward Brooke out of Massachusetts. He lost his election. But yeah, I don't know him either, quite frankly. I wouldn't have known that if I didn't look it up.
I will tell you that Mississippi is has one of the highest populations percentage-wise of black people.
You say Mississippi?
Yes, and they also have probably one
by 2030 to be the first majority black state.
And they haven't had a black senator in how long? But it's easy.
We gerrymandered so bad, boss. Like we gerrymandered to sleep, man.
But that's the problem, though. They also don't vote at the same rate as, say, African Americans up north. I just say black folks up north.
Thank you.
So
you got to understand the difference, though, right? Like I was speaking earlier, the rural difference. So when you're in rural America, right, transportation is difficult. First off, then with rural America tied in with poverty, right? How am I? Nobody even got cars. So you don't have public transportation, nor do you have cars. So who are going to get you, right? Depending on like church vans and stuff like that, right? To get the voting. But different people in those scenarios, these people really don't even be really in these positions because you got to go to locations for these vans to pick you up. And you can't even get a drive to there. So when you really add up there on a micro level, right, and see it from a macro perspective, that's the difficulty of voting. And along with things like ID, right? You got the ID restriction rules, right? You got to literally have that. Think about how difficult it is. The average distance to get to an ID in Mississippi is like 30 to 40 miles, first off. So if you ain't got transportation, go ahead, boss.
That's a good question. So your cousin / nephew, Mr. Thompson,
What? No, man.
asked the question. Who has done more for black people, Barack Obama or
just Obama versus Tim Scott?
I mean,
he said that they've done about the
They said
same.
they're about equal. Yeah, they said
he said they're about the same.
Okay, so then my question is, how can you see them as equal when one is on a national level and one's on a state level?
That's the point.
I want to know who believes. None of us believe that Scott has done more, right?
That state senator votes
What has he done?
federal legislation.
Oh, so Kevin believes
Kevin believes what?
that Scott's done more?
No.
Okay, so nobody believes
I believe that he is less interested and has worked against the agenda for the black community.
Okay. So the answer to the question is Obama.
Absolutely. I mean, I think we all think Obama. Okay. But I didn't like how it sounded like we're giving Tim Scott some sort of a pass because he's at a state level.
Oh, that was Carter, yeah.
I
We're all saying the same thing?
I think we're all saying it's Obama by a landslide.
Yes.
Saying it differently.
Yes. We agree.
It's like arguing with my husband, saying the same thing, just want to say it differently.
The only argument we were having was you guys are not giving
Jim is credit.
Any credit. Any credit.
Well, I'll tell you what, man. If we weren't on live, I would give him his credit right now.
See?
Listen, do you give Lindsey Graham credit?
Thank you.
Like he's a person in position of power.
Here's the problem. And we don't have, bro. We're missing a member of the gang, but there's a reason you should give that man credit for being in the South.
Don't make him come on. You know that.
There's a reason you should give that man credit for being a senator in the conservative South Carolina.
No.
Why?
He hasn't even really told anybody.
Huh?
Say again, Mike?
Has he come out?
What does that mean? I don't know. Come out. What's that mean?
Okay, never mind then. Nothing. Hello, Lady Graham.
That's all I'm saying. Oh, woo! Shots fired. That's all I'm saying. And to be a senator in South,
I'll say just be yourself, Lindsey.
If you're Republican and you got ties to money, that's all that counts.
Thank you. There you go. Republican ties to money. You make it.
That cash. You got that cash.
And also a malleable character, a lack of integrity. If you're willing to take one stance on camera in front of national television and then go completely against it, when you go on video and say, if I go against this, hold me accountable, then we hold you accountable. Well, that's not exactly the same thing. Apples and oranges, I heard that today. You know, just all kinds of different comparisons.
All I'm saying is it's hard being a senator.
Yes.
No.
I'm not knocking that.
It's hard out here for a simp. You're right.
There we go. That's what it is.
It's hard being a senator. It's hard. It's just hard.
Yes.
Man, it's hard getting elected.
Yes. But it's easier getting elected being over a black.
Well, if you're from Kentucky,
Mike,
if you're from Kentucky,
are you going to recognize? Oh, go ahead.
30% popularity rate, but you win in a landslide. Sheesh, what's going on? What
People
about
showing up?
It's the voter suppression situation. Like in the South, that thing is the most.
According to Tim Scott, that doesn't exist.
Of course.
Oh my gosh! And when are we believing Tim Scott about that?
I'm just going off of what Mr. Thompson said, not this Thompson, the other Mr. Thompson said.
Oh boy.
You know, I'm just saying
Larry's nephew.
They've done similar things apparently.
I mean, so Mike.
Yes, sir.
You don't think
Mr.
You don't think tokenism? You don't think tokenism helped Tim Scott get elected?
I think here's the thing. Candace Owens is a different.
Candace Owens
she is a media figure, right? So she didn't have to have any. She says what a certain population wants to hear, and the fact that it comes out of her mouth, it's
exactly.
The difference is you can turn the channel. You don't have to accept Candace Owens the way you would if you were an elector in South Carolina with Tim Scott. Mm-hmm. Tim Scott is, you can turn the channel. Tim Scott is your senator, period. You have grown up. No. If you're in South Carolina, he is your senator. You may have grown up in a way in which, who Tim Scott was in and of itself would mean he wasn't going to be your senator. There was times when Tim Scott and people who like him couldn't stare at you while you were walking down the street. That in and of itself, all right, we got to understand, man. How does Tim Scott?
I get that part of it,
Mississippi, boss.
That's why I voted. That's why I voted for Obama. Like, I get that his skin is black part. I'm talking about the tokenism part.
Right, and that's what I'm saying. There's an element in there that maybe somebody put him up, but he still had to win, and he still had to get through the gauntlet of other Republicans reaching in and arguing without actually saying it to the constituents. Tim Scott's black, right? Now, he would never actually say it out loud, but that would be something other Republicans could use in a primary.
Good, but they did.
I'm sure they did. I'm sure if we looked up, man, I guarantee you, if we looked up some primaries with Tim Scott in it, it would be horrific. Some of the things the people were saying about him to get a certain constituent. Oh, you know what? I guarantee. I don't even think we had to look hard to find.
Yes, you do, because I went through a lot of his debates. So you're gonna have to look hard, boss. You talk to somebody who look up this stuff. This is what I do, right? Like that's what I do. I look at people that I idolize in the sense of being able to get somewhere, right? Tim Scott, he got up there, right? That's why I said before I started listening to Tim Scott, I was like, okay, a black man, because I was anti-party, right? Democrats always say they're gonna do something for you, but they never do it for you, right? So I was in a position of let me search what's next for me as a young black man, because I am a leader of the next generation. I am. So for me knowing that, I was like, I need to guide us in the right direction. I can't just keep going by program of Democrats, right? So I checked out Tim Scott. And then as I go through Tim Scott, you know what I mean? I started, that dude is a cringy man. He's a cringy man. I'm telling you. He's cringy.
Okay. I can't tell you any other way. If it were easy, everybody would do it. And there'd be nothing.
Why has been more Republicans in the South that's elected than Democrats?
It goes back to the argument we just had.
Black.
They aren't black ones. You guys keep saying it's easy.
I said, what you mean? The blacks that were from the South that were Republicans. I'm confused. What do you mean they weren't black?
Yeah, Reconstruction.
Majority of the people, he said, we only have one, probably two at max Democratic senators. What was the count on that?
Man, we ain't playing.
The rest of them was Republican.
We know what a Republican looked like in 1876. It doesn't look like the
Larry makes a strong point.
So you talking about? So you telling me those same Republicans weren't still racist? Come on, boss. Like they still would. Like everybody's still the same. Really, they just change it over playing music.
If we gonna argue about Reconstruction, you know what happened with Reconstruction? We realized that democracy can work. We realized
that's right. That's right.
We finished.
That's true.
The problem with Reconstruction was democracy worked. People were voting, and a certain populace was like, hold the bleep on. We need to stop a certain group of people from voting. That's true. What happened in Reconstruction. They still stay Republican.
But where does it work at, though? Please show me the effects of it working.
We had black senators.
And black senators.
It worked.
No, I'm not talking about. Just because you elected don't mean nothing. We had black governors. We had black mayors back in 1700. What we talk about?
If it didn't matter, why were they working so hard to make sure we didn't have one for another 100 years?
You said what now?
If it wasn't working, why were they working so hard to make sure we didn't have another black senator for 100 years?
Because America's essence alone is racist in general. So it ain't even necessary about if it's working or not. It don't even matter. Like also, 1 out of 90. Hold on, talking about 1 out of 90 at every other election, man. Like, is that working? Like, is it really working? Like one senator?
There was a certain
working, right?
There was, dude. Oh my God!
Check it out.
What do you want me to say? There was people. Look, people were voting. It was the problem.
Name me a black senator that voted on slavery.
The problem with Reconstruction is they started to limit the ability to vote.
The idea. We get the idea.
Our democracy is not too many people voting. It's that there is a constant effort to stop people from voting. Literally.
Bob, that is the slowdown premises argument of America working.
Say again?
I said that's the basis of white supremacy of America working. Keeping America the same. It once almost worked. It used to be work. It almost hit the edge of it working, but it never really worked for black people. I'm still waiting. This 2021. That's what I'm about.
That's like saying, but Mike, here's what an analogy of that kind of sounds like is, well, no, black people have economic opportunities. Remember, there used to be a Black Wall Street. See, right. there was a very successful black economy. So what we're saying is they did blow it up, and no, we don't have those opportunities. So there was a glimpse of that equality we're talking about, and it's not here now. Tim Scott being elected does not make it all good over there. Like I'm glad he won the election as a black person. I like to see his skin, but he's voting lockstep with these Republicans, except on one or two things. So I still don't like him.
I don't. Objectively, you guys cannot. The problem is
objective about it.
You guys cannot look at Tim Scott objectively.
No, we can. We're giving our opinion. You just don't want to
hear him credit.
I
just gave him credit.
I idolized the man first before I realized who he was. What do you mean?
Right.
You don't want to give him credit for winning an election.
I just said that.
As a black Republican, why does everybody think that's easy?
Nobody said easy. Why you keep putting that narrative? We said it's easier to be a Democrat.
Why do you think that it's easier?
It's propaganda, sir.
Black Republican.
Hey, man, are we going to end this show without spending some time hating on Candace Owens real quick?
Right.
Because Candace Owens was brought up in this comment. You know, and I can hate on Tim Scott for a long time, but we do need to hate on Candace Owens for quite a bit. Tokenism. She made a whole lot of money by selling black people down the river. And it was so much easier for her to say it and not be called racist because of her black skin. Tim Scott utilized that same effect. That's what I'm talking about. And let's roll that over to Candace Owens because, she is not qualified, Croy. She is not qualified to be a spokesperson for the black community. She needs to be quiet. And the black community needs to stand up and just totally cancel her from blackness.
Who from the black community talks about her and uses her as a resource?
Right, that's true. That's true.
I know. That's true. That's true. But she needs to be like proactively canceled.
And you saw this comment here. So, and Mike has been going at it
because they don't want to. Because you don't want to look at them objectively. If you take off your glasses and if you take off your lenses of
what glasses are those?
Right. We need lenses and you look at them you can't look at them objectively, and we're not going to, so that's fine. So
Boss, we ran up bad people.
We just don't mistake your opinions. I love to hear.
Hey, Mike, but do bad people win elections?
Like them.
Mike, don't bad people win elections too, though?
Yes.
Trump won the election. Credit. I'm not giving him credit for winning.
Boom.
Perfect. He got his election.
All right, we about to cut it. Oh, there it is right there. You don't want to give Trump credit for winning their election, right? Because you don't like.
He got his credit already. He became the president of the United States. What do I need to give him more credit for?
Right.
He got his electoral college votes. Who cares? He passed.
Which were all white men, basically.
Dude, get mad at the process, but
I'm not mad at the process.
No, you're getting mad because you don't want to give him credit.
No, I'm not getting. I'm telling you. Okay, we can go on Trump. Trump's perfect. We all dislike Trump, right? Yes?
No, I mean,
okay, just making sure. But he ran accidentally a pretty damn good campaign against a candidate. See, nod your head. See, there it is. Against a candidate that we didn't even see had flaws. Because you know how we know? Because he won. So you got to give him credit for winning.
No, you don't.
See?
You don't. See, you think we have to give somebody credit. You don't have. We don't have to give somebody credit. We can differ about our opinions, but you're not accepting the difference.
Yes, it is.
Give him this cold shoulder right here. Give him that cold shoulder.
That's it right there. Subjectively, you be like, I'm not doing that. Objectively,
it's my opinion.
We said he won.
It's your opinion. We disagree. Why are you correct? We disagree. Why are you correct?
Because I'm looking at it objectively. You guys are subjective because you don't like the subject. You don't like the subject.
You say you're objective and we're not.
Huh?
You say you're objective and we're not.
Well, true.
We're thinking objectively. And objectively, we don't want to give him credit.
And ladies and gentlemen, with that,
Marcus, you're gonna objectively end the show, please.
At the end of our show,
no credit.
I would love for us to have a dope black thought, but wow,
I got one for you.
Fiery here.
Hey,
I love this one, man.
I have a subjective dope black thought.
I have to be in the center, and let me just say, it's not easy to win an election. I'll leave it at that.
I mean, I ran for office. I understand that process of running for office, but the thing about the game is running for president is much easier than it would be for a white man than it would be for anybody else, though. So we can't really.
So you're proving his point.
Thank you.
And so with that,
what's the point? I'm missing the point.
No, we gotta end the show. Let's stay on. Let's stay on.
It's out. Peace.
All right, that's crazy. That is nothing about
We're still live. We're still
What is love? Is the drug? Take it back in. get back to you. The cash out like pay I spend. Is it really worth the wait? I don't get it.